What are my biggest driving pet peeves? So welcome back everyone to today's video, and today I thought I'd go over my biggest driving pet peeves that I have experienced over the last nearly year of driving. And without wasting any time, let's jump straight into number one. I just want to start off by saying this list is in no order of importance or anything like that, but number one is taxi drivers. And the reason why I hate taxi drivers is because they are the most goneless drivers you will ever meet or see on the roads, especially considering they're a quote-unquote professional driver. Like, I'm pretty sure 90% of my close call accidents are with taxi drivers because of their fault. Like, they don't care where you are on the road. If you're in the lane that they need to be in, they will start pulling over in hopes that you will slam on or go around them. So this clip above is from one of my old channels where it's obviously dashcam footage. And like, you can obviously see it's a narrow country road and it doesn't look it on camera, but it barely fits two cars. And as you can see in the clip, the taxi driver comes over onto my side a little bit, which I had to swerve, and I nearly ended up in a ditch. Not to mention, besides from me, the countless times I've heard stories from my mum and other people that drive of how much they hate taxi drivers and how many times taxi drivers have nearly caused accidents. Moving on to number two. Number two is push bikes. Like, just tell me why three of you guys need to take up the whole section of the road. Like, why can't you be in single file, one behind the other? Like, fair enough if there's like a massive group of you and you're doing a triathlon or whatever, marathon, whatever they're called. But still, even then, there should be two or three of you next to each other, not all just bunched up in the road. It's so annoying. Another thing is, you guys always ask, we're a part of the road, we are road users. Why don't you act like it? The amount of times that I've been stopped at a red light, I've seen a cyclist on the road, stopped at the red light, after 30 seconds they get bored and they go through the red light. But aren't they road users as well? Shouldn't they be classed as cars? You know, they always say, oh, you should treat us as a road user, as a car user. That means you should also follow the road laws. I don't know why you can go through red lights and I can't. Like, don't sit there and ask to be treated like a road user when you don't even act like a road user. You can't just break laws just because you're bored of sitting at a red light. Anyway, moving on to number three. And number three is van drivers. And the reason why van drivers are on this list is because they do not know how to stick at or under the speed limit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I stick to the speed limit all the time. You know, sometimes I might go a few over. If it's a 30, I might go, 32, 33, just to make up a little bit of extra time. But there's no reason why a van driver and every driver or Amazon driver should be up my arse going 35, flashing me to move out the way on a single carriageway. Like, the amount of times where I've been sat on the motorway going, 70 or a little bit over, and there's a van driver that's come flying up behind me, flashing his lights for me to move. Like, bro, I'm already going slightly over, and you're meant to be tracked. Why aren't you slowing down or going the speed limit? And another reason for van drivers is because they will bully you off the road. If you're in a lane and they need that lane, they will happily push you off of the road, because it isn't their van at the end of the day. It's a work van, and the work van will be paid for by the company, not them, so they do not give a fuck about their van. And another reason is because they will dump the van anywhere on the road. As long as it gets them closest to where they need to go, they will dump it anywhere, put the hazards on, which they automatically think it means, sorry, I'm parking here, go around me. By all means, fair enough if you've broken down. However, if you're just dropping off a few packages, go somewhere where it allows you to park. Don't block off a full fucking road just to deliver 2 Amazon packages to Dorothy. Anyway, that leads me on to the next one, which is old drivers. And the reason for old drivers is because, tell me why Dorothy from down the street can drive 85 mile an hour down a 30 like she's from the Fast and Furious, cause a 10-car pile-up crash and get away with it just because she's on pension. Like, tell me why Maxine down the road is paying £50 and a handshake over the phone a year for insurance, fully comp, on a 5 litre Mustang, while I'm sat here paying £3,500 for a 1.6 Fiesta. Like, how does that even make sense? They can barely see over the steering wheel, can barely see 5 feet in front of them. They don't know if the light's green or red. They can't see anything, and they cause the most accidents, yet they're paying the least amount. See, I personally believe after about the age of 60, you should have to resit your driving test, because as much as I love my granddad, he should have to reset his test. He is not safe on the roads whatsoever. But it's just like, I can go 2 miles an hour over the speed limit past a police officer, I'll get pulled and charged and everything. Dorothy, no. She can go flying 30 past a police officer, flying down to B&M because there's a new sale on for knitting and stuff. And she'll get away with it because, oh, she's old and cute. Leave her alone. It's unfair. Speaking of driving fast, that leads me on to the next one on the list, which is certy drivers. Like, street racing doesn't make you cool. Endangering others doesn't make you cool. Endangering yourself doesn't make you cool. You all do the same thing, blasting Chava tunes, going 80 in a 20, straight elbows, swerving in and out for absolutely no reason, screaming at the top of your lungs, I'm a driver. You're not. You can't drive for shit. Like, going back to my last point, old Dorothy down the road can probably drive better than you, and that is saying something. And the funny thing is, you all drive the same cars, a Golf R, an Audi RS3, or a BMW M140i, and they've all got the same mods. Like, let me guess, your BMW M140i with a B58 engine has a downpipe and a tune and a custom catback exhaust. Sounds about right. Or let me guess, your Golf R has a Stage 2 remap, custom catback or Miltech catback exhaust, and it has this stupid park bench table looking spoiler. Or let me guess, your Audi RS3 has the exact same thing, Stage 1 or Stage 2 remap with a catback exhaust. Like, if you go to a car meet, 90% of them are going to be copy and paste builds of Golf R's, RS3s, M140i's, and I'm not saying Fiestas are any different, they are the exact same. However, my point is mostly these car drivers that class themselves as certy drivers. Anyway, moving on to the next one. And my next one is slow drivers. Now, I'm not on about old Dorothy anymore, I'm on about slow drivers in general. Like, I'm on about the drivers that will sit going 30 in a 40. Now, fair enough if you say the speed limit is a limit, not a target, but there is no need for you to be sat going 30 in a 40 or a 50 when it is a straight, clear road. Because I'll admit, I'm guilty for this. If I'm going somewhere new and it's taking me down a weird looking back road and I don't know what's ahead, I'm not going to sit there going 60, 70 mile an hour down it if I don't know what's ahead. But at the same time, if I see a straight and I can see what's in front of me, I'm going to sit and go the speed limit. I'm not going to go 20 or 30 below, because it just causes traffic like this, or even more danger to the people behind you. Because if someone wants to just go around you because you're going slow, which it could cause them to have an accident, don't get me wrong, it'd be their fault, but it's still you causing it. So don't get me wrong, I'm not saying go the speed limit or over the speed limit, but when it is clear and safe, go the damn speed limit. It is so annoying to sit behind someone going 20 below when it's a clear, straight road. Which kind of leads me on to my next point, which next on the list is impatient drivers. And the reason for this is because there's no need for you to be sat behind me when I'm going the speed limit, flashing your lights for me to move, when there's no need to. Like, I have no need to be sat going 30, 40 mile an hour in a 20 zone. So just chill out. Take a chill pill, man. Why are you trying to, get me to go over the speed limit? Or, when you're trying to turn from a main road onto a side street, but obviously there's no little lane for you so you block up the road. I can't help it. If there's no lane for me to go into, I can't do anything about it. Don't sit there behind me beeping at me just because I can't pull out because I've got 10 cars coming towards me. I'm not just going to pull out in front of them and get T-boned and cause an accident and make my insurance go up and injure myself. Just chill. Where you're going to get to where you're going no matter what. There's also no need for you to blare your horn at me as soon as the light goes green. Give me a chance, let me put my car into gear and take the handbrake off and find the biting point. I'm not driving an automatic, it's not that simple, so just literally give me a second. Don't worry, I'm not going to sit here for the rest of the day. Moving on to number 8, and it is financial frauds. And when I say this, I don't mean people actually committing finance fraud. What I mean is people who finance expensive and fast cars and flex on other people, or finance these cars to make themselves look cool even though they have next to no idea about cars. Your AMG A45 or whatever looks cool. However, don't sit there talking down on me about my Fiesta, which I paid outright for, just because it isn't a 20,000-30,000 pound car with over 300 horsepower, especially when you can't even tell me how many spark plugs a diesel has. Don't sit there flaming me just because my car has 100 horsepower and yours has 300, when all you did was go on Google, look up mods to do to M140i, and it came up with a list from ChatGPT saying stage 1 remap, a decat, and downpipe and whatever stuff. Don't speak to me if you literally don't know what you're on about, and especially talking down on people. Don't talk down on other people. Fair enough if you can afford £500-600 monthly payments for a car. However, some people prefer to buy a car outright and have it for a few years and save up for a better car than spending money monthly just to buy a flashy car. Like, some people prefer old cars over newer flashy cars. Like I said, by all means, good for you that you can afford the monthly payments. However, don't sit there and talk down on other people just because they might not be able to afford it, or just because they have other preferences. Moving on to the last thing on the list, which I hate most, and it is black boxes. Don't get me wrong, I think they're a cool concept, a cool idea. You know, insurance can track your speed and see how, you know, safe of a driver you are to decrease insurance prices. However, some of the things they mark you down for are stupid, like fast acceleration. Fair enough for like racing and stuff, but what if I'm in a slow powered car trying to join onto the motorway where it's going from a 30 to a 70 and I need to put my foot down to match the speed of traffic so I don't cause an accident? You're going to mark me down for it when I'm trying to match the speed of the traffic and be safe. Or harsh braking. Why are you marking me down for harsh braking? I braked hard for a reason. You know, I harshly braked to avoid hitting a person or hitting another car. If I didn't brake hard, I would have been in an accident and my insurance would have gone up. So why are you marking me down for stupid things like that? Or one of the most annoying things is phone usage if it's connected by Bluetooth, like mine was. Like, sometimes when I'm in the car, I have my passenger play music, which marks it down as phone usage, which is clearly like, I'm not going to be on my phone every 2 minutes while driving. I can understand why they've done it, but at the same time, it's also stupid. But I'm just trying to get my friend to play some good music instead of listening to my same old stuff over and over again. Yet you're marking me down for it. And another thing that's stupid is decreasing your overall score for going out between certain times. Like, fair enough for marking me down for going out between rush hour between 5 and 8, but at the same time, what if I'm on my way home from work or to work? You know, I can understand at rush hour there's more cars on the road, so I'm more likely to get into an accident, but still, it's just stupid. And tell me why my drives between 11 o'clock at night and 4 o'clock in the morning are drastically decreased. Like, I can understand at that time it's when antisocial stuff gets done, but at the same time, it's also when the roads are at the quietest and I'm least likely to get into an accident. Like, why are you marking me down for that? Like, the job that I do, sometimes I'm travelling home from work at about 4 o'clock in the morning and there's barely any cars on the road, and I can drive home perfectly without any faults, but yet I'll get like a 60 or 70 score because it's in them hours. It's stupid. Anyways, that's all for today's video. That's all of my driving pet peeves. I've got a few more YouTube video ideas which I'm probably going to release within next week or so. But anyway, I hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment below on what your driving pet peeves are, and I'll see you in the next one.